Something massive is unfolding this March, a force so powerful that it will shake the very core of your being. Whether you're aware of it or not, this cosmic event is setting the stage for your next spiritual awakening. And once it happens, there's no going back. This isn't just another moon phase. It's a gateway, a shift so profound that it will realign your energy, open new doors of perception, and push you toward the transformation you've been resisting. If you've been feeling stuck, uncertain, or disconnected, this is why. The universe has been preparing you for this moment, and now everything is about to change. But the question is, will you recognize the signs? Will you embrace the shift, or let it pass you by? Because this isn't just an ordinary moon cycle, it's a spiritual wake-up call. And if you're here right now, it means you're meant to hear this. Keep watching, because by the time this video ends, you'll understand exactly what's happening, why it's happening, and most importantly, what you must do next. March brings a lunar event unlike any other, one that acts as both a mirror and a doorway. The moon, in its celestial dance, will enter a phase of heightened energy, amplifying frequencies that have been dormant within you. This isn't just a shift in the sky, it's a shift in your soul. Think of the moon as a great cosmic tide, pulling at the hidden currents of your emotions, stirring the depths of your subconscious. Just as the ocean responds to its pull, so does the energy within you. This particular phase is a catalyst, unlocking suppressed feelings, long-forgotten dreams, and the truths you've been avoiding. Spiritually, this moon represents release and renewal. It's a sacred threshold where the old dissolves, making way for the new. The universe is urging you to let go of what no longer serves you, whether it's a limiting belief, an emotional wound, or a fear holding you back. And the timing, it's not random. This is happening now because you are ready. Even if you don't feel ready, the universe knows you are. Life moves in cycles, much like the moon itself. Growth, release, transformation, each phase shaping you in ways you may not even realize until you look back. And yet there are times when change feels heavier, more demanding, as if something unseen is urging you to step beyond the familiar. This is one of those times. Think about where you are right now, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. Are you clinging to something that no longer belongs in your life? A habit, a belief, a relationship that keeps you anchored in a version of yourself you've already outgrown. Transformation isn't always loud. Sometimes it comes as a whisper, a feeling deep in your chest that something must shift. But here's the truth. Change will happen whether you resist it or embrace it. The energy of this moon is calling you to face the things you've been avoiding, to see yourself clearly, without the distractions, without the excuses. Imagine walking through a dimly lit room, familiar but cluttered. You know there's more space, more clarity, beyond the mess, but you've adjusted to maneuvering around it. Now imagine the lights turning on. Suddenly, you see everything. The things you've been stepping over, the objects collecting dust, the weight of what you no longer need. This is what this moon is doing to your soul. It's turning on the light, and when the light comes on, you have a choice. Will you clear the space, or will you turn away, pretending you didn't see the truth laid bare before you? Consider the habits that shape your days, the thoughts that whisper in your mind when the world goes quiet, the way you speak to yourself in moments of doubt. How many of those patterns serve you? How many are keeping you from becoming who you are meant to be? The pull of this moon is not meant to break you. It's meant to show you what's already broken, what's been waiting for healing, for release. And as uncomfortable as that may be, it is also a gift. Because once you see the truth, you can no longer be bound by illusions. There is power in awareness. There is freedom in letting go. And right now, the universe is giving you both. The only question is, what will you do with it? Change is never easy. Even when we know something no longer serves us, there's a part of us that clings to it, as if letting go would mean losing a piece of ourselves. But that's not the truth, is it? The truth is, holding on to what no longer belongs to you is far more painful than releasing it. And right now, the universe is giving you the perfect moment to do just that. Think of a river, constantly flowing, never stagnant. The water that rushes past you is never the same. Yet the river remains. It does not resist. It does not hold on. It surrenders to the flow, trusting that what is meant to stay will stay, and what must leave will be carried away. This is the lesson the moon is bringing you now. To stop gripping so tightly to what is already slipping through your fingers. To trust that what you release is only making space for something greater. So where do you begin? You start by seeing yourself clearly, not as you were, not as the world expects you to be, but as you are right now. Strip away the noise, the expectations, the stories you've told yourself about who you should be. Sit with the version of you that exists in this very moment and ask, what do I truly need? Not what do I want, not what would be easier, but what do I need to move forward? This is where most people hesitate, because to answer that question honestly, you must be willing to acknowledge what's been weighing you down, the habits that drain you, the relationships that leave you empty, the versions of yourself that you've outgrown but still wear like a familiar old coat, afraid of stepping into the unknown without them. But what if you let them go? What if, instead of resisting, you leaned into the discomfort of transformation? What if you saw this moment not as an ending, but as a doorway? The moon is not asking you to destroy what you've built. It's asking you to clear what is no longer aligned with where you are going. To trust that what is meant for you will remain, and what is not will drift away, no longer weighing on your soul. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Growth always is. But think about the alternative. Think about the heaviness of carrying what no longer fits, the exhaustion of pretending you don't feel the pull of something greater, the quiet ache of knowing you are meant for more, yet refusing to step toward it. You don't have to know exactly where you're going. You don't need all the answers. All you need is the willingness to take the first step, to release, to realign, to trust that whatever falls away was never meant to stay. Because the moment you do, something shifts, the weight lifts, the energy clears, and suddenly, you're not just moving, you're flowing, like the river, no longer resisting, no longer grasping, but finally becoming. The hardest part of transformation is not the change itself, it's the moment before, the hesitation, the fear of stepping into the unknown. But what if you could see what's on the other side? What if, instead of fearing what you might lose, you focused on what you stand to gain? Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean, the waves rolling in with a rhythm as ancient as time itself. You know that beyond the shore, something greater awaits. But stepping into the water means surrendering control. It means trusting that you will not drown, that the current will carry you exactly where you are meant to be. This is the energy of this moon. It is calling you into the water, urging you to let go of the shore you've clung to for so long. The shore of your past, of your fears, of the stories that have kept you small. And yes, the water is unknown. But what if that's where you truly belong? So many people spend their lives standing at the edge, paralyzed by the thought of what could go wrong. What if I fail? What if I get hurt? What if I'm not ready? But ask yourself, what if you are? What if, by taking that step, you discover something within you that was always there, waiting to rise? Growth is not about erasing the past. It's about honoring it, learning from it, and then allowing yourself to move forward. You do not have to carry every version of yourself into the future. Some pieces of you were meant to stay behind, like footprints in the sand, evidence of where you've been, but not a reflection of where you're going. So how do you move forward? You start small. You listen to the quiet voice inside you that already knows what needs to change. You pay attention to the patterns, the moments of resistance, the things that no longer feel like home. And then, one by one, you let them go. Maybe it's a habit that no longer serves you. Maybe it's a belief that has kept you stuck. Maybe it's the way you speak to yourself, the way you shrink in the presence of your own potential. Whatever it is, recognize that you have the power to release it. And when you do, something incredible happens. The weight that once felt so permanent begins to lift. The path that once seemed impossible to navigate suddenly becomes clear. You realize that you were never meant to stay stuck, never meant to hold on to things that dim your light. You were meant to evolve, to rise, to embrace the unknown with open arms, knowing that on the other side of fear is freedom. So take the step. The ocean is waiting. And you were never meant to stay on the shore. There comes a moment when hesitation is no longer an option. A moment when the weight of the past can no longer be carried forward. This is that moment. You felt the pull, the subtle yet undeniable force urging you to step beyond your comfort zone. You've heard the whispers in your soul telling you that something must change, but knowing is not enough. Awareness is not transformation. The difference between those who evolve and those who remain stuck is a single choice, the choice to act. This moon is not just a celestial event. It's a cosmic mirror, reflecting back to you everything you need to see. Every unspoken fear, every dream left waiting, every truth you've buried beneath the noise of everyday life. And now, the universe is placing a choice before you. Will you continue to walk the same familiar path, circling back to the same patterns, the same doubts, the same limitations? Or will you take the step that changes everything? This is your turning point. Think about the stories you tell yourself, the reasons why you can't, why you shouldn't, why it's not the right time. How long have these excuses held you back? How long have you convinced yourself that someday, when you're ready, when things align perfectly, then you'll step into your power? But here's the truth. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. If you wait until you feel fully ready, you will wait forever. Because readiness is not a feeling. It's a decision. It's choosing to move forward even when fear lingers, even when doubt whispers, even when the path ahead is unclear. It's recognizing that growth is never comfortable, but stagnation is far more painful. Right now, you are standing at the threshold of change. Behind you is everything familiar. The habits, the mindsets, the limitations that have shaped your life thus far. Ahead of you is everything unknown. The possibility, the expansion, the version of yourself that exists beyond fear. So what will you choose? Will you keep carrying the weight of the past, the stories that no longer serve you, the fears that were never truly yours to begin with? Or will you step forward, lighter, freer, ready to embrace the transformation that is already unfolding? The energy of this moon is not subtle. It is not patient. It is here to shake you awake, to break apart the illusions, to strip away everything that is not aligned with your highest path. And you have two choices: resist or rise. Those who resist will feel it as heaviness, as restlessness, as an overwhelming urge to run back to what is comfortable, even if comfort has become a cage. But those who rise, those who surrender to the pull, will experience something entirely different. They will feel the weight lift. They will feel the shift in their energy, in their thoughts, in the way they see themselves and the world around them. They will feel alive in a way they haven't in years. And that's what this is about. Life, true, uninhibited, unfiltered life. Not the half-lived existence of waiting, doubting, fearing, but the kind of life where you wake up every day knowing you are exactly where you are meant to be, no longer held back by the past, no longer lost in hesitation. This is your moment, your turning point. And here is my challenge to you. Choose yourself. Choose your growth. Choose to believe that you are capable of more than you've ever imagined. Because the truth is, you are. And the only thing left to do now is step forward and claim it. You already know what needs to be done. You've known for a while. The signs have been there. The moments of discomfort, the restlessness that lingers in the quiet hours, the deep sense that something is missing. But knowing isn't enough. This is where most people stop. They wait for a guarantee, a promise that if they take the leap, they won't fall, that if they let go, something better will immediately take its place. But transformation doesn't work that way. It asks you to trust, to surrender, to step forward, without a map, without certainty, only with the deep, unshakable knowing that you are meant for more. And isn't that what makes it powerful? If you could see every step ahead, if you knew exactly how everything would unfold, where would the growth be? Where would the magic be? Think of a seed buried beneath the soil. It doesn't know what lies above. It only knows it must grow. It doesn't resist the darkness, doesn't fight against the earth, pressing in around it. It simply moves toward the light, even when it can't see it yet. And that is what you must do now. The energy of this moon is not just here to be observed. It is here to be felt, to be absorbed, to be used. This is not a passive shift. It is an active invitation. You are being called to shed what no longer serves you, to break free from patterns that have kept you stagnant, to stop waiting for permission to step into your highest self. So ask yourself, what are you still holding on to that is weighing you down? What story have you told yourself for so long that you've started to believe it's the truth? Is it the idea that you're not good enough, that you're not ready, that you are somehow undeserving of the life you truly desire? Because those are illusions, shadows. They only have power because you've given it to them. But what happens when you take that power back? What happens when you decide, right here, right now, that you are done playing small? There is no one coming to save you. No one is going to hand you your dreams on a silver platter. No cosmic event, no planetary alignment, no divine intervention can do for you what you refuse to do for yourself. The universe can open doors, but only you can walk through them. And this is your door. You don't need more time. You don't need more signs. You don't need the perfect circumstances to align before you take the first step. You just need to decide, to act, to move. Because if not now, when? 1 year from now, will you look back and see progress? Will you see a version of yourself who stepped into the unknown and emerged stronger, freer, fully aligned with your truth? Or will you see another cycle of hesitation, another year of waiting, another moment where you let fear make the decision for you? You have the power to decide. Right now, let this be the moment you finally say yes to yourself. Let this be the moment you stop waiting. Let this be the moment you rise, because the universe is speaking. The energy is shifting. And you are ready. This moment isn't just about the moon. It's about you, about where you stand in your journey, about the choices you make when the universe calls your name. And make no mistake, right now, it is calling. Loudly, clearly, urgently. You've felt the pull. You've seen the patterns repeating, the same lessons appearing in different forms, waiting for you to finally break free. You've known, deep down, that something has to change. And now, with this shift in energy, the universe has cleared a path. But a path is just that, a possibility. It's up to you to walk it. No more waiting for a better time. No more postponing your own transformation. If you don't act now, when? If you don't choose yourself today, how many more cycles will pass before you finally do? This moon is not just about energy, it's about choice. Your choice. The universe will meet you halfway, but you must take the first step. And it doesn't have to be a massive leap. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens in small, deliberate moments. Choosing to release an old belief, to step away from what drains you, to say yes to what lights you up. One choice, one shift, one decision at a time. You are not here by accident. You are watching this because something within you knows. This message was meant for you. It's time. Look around you. Feel the energy in the air. Everything is moving, shifting, evolving. And you have two options: resist or rise, stay the same or embrace the unknown. Hold on to what's familiar or step into what's possible. And I know it's not easy. Change never is. But what's harder? Staying in a version of your life that no longer fits, living in the shadow of your own potential, carrying the weight of a future that was meant to be yours, but never claiming it. The universe is giving you a gift, a chance, a doorway. All you have to do is walk through it. So, what will you do? If this message spoke to you, if you felt something shift inside you, let it out. Drop a comment below and share what resonated most. What patterns are you breaking? What changes are you ready to make? Say it. Speak it into existence. Let this be the first action you take toward your transformation. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, someone who's standing at their own crossroads, waiting for a sign, send this to them. Be the light that helps them see their own. This journey isn't meant to be walked alone. We are all shifting, growing, evolving together. And if you want to keep receiving guidance, if you want to understand how these cosmic events are shaping your path, make sure you're subscribed, because this is just the beginning. The universe has more to reveal, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. So take a deep breath. Feel the energy moving through you, and choose. This is your moment. Don't let it pass you by. And I know